Hey y'all, what's up? Happy Foundation Friday. I am so pumped for this wear test. Today we are wear testing the new Smashbox Studio Skin Full Coverage 24-Hour Foundation in the shade 4.25. I ordered mine online. I just did a little guessing game as far as shade matching because when I actually went into the store after I ordered it to make sure my shade was correct, they didn't have all the shades available in the Sephora at JCPenney's. Now the Sephora that's standalone inside the mall, not sure, but shade 4.5. We're gonna go ahead and get into this. I can't believe that it is, what's today? Today is August 21st and there are still more and more foundations coming out. I'm kind of like, wow, we're not done yet. Kat Von D, she has a lightweight foundation coming out and I am a little curious about that because I do like the Lock-It foundation. I know that's not a fan favorite for a lot of people, but for when I'm working, like if I'm doing bridals or just a long day and I need to be beat, that's my go-to foundation. Alright, so I already know how this wears because I have been wearing it for a week straight so far. I don't mind doing my first impressions live for you guys, and when it comes to an actual product review, I like to try it out first. So I'm going to be squirting out just a little bit because I'll go ahead and tell you a little bit goes a long way. Let me zoom in. A little bit's gonna go a long way using my favorite foundation brush. This is the Makeup Forever Flat 108 foundation brush. The Sephora sale is going on right now. Sephora's giving us a sale in August. I don't know what's going on, probably because of all these foundations that are coming out, but I don't recommend or push a lot of brushes, but this is the only brush that I push. This is good. So get this if you need a new foundation brush. Let's get into it. So since I prefer, as you can see, she's full coverage, I prefer to have the majority of the coverage in the center of my face. So that is where I like to start, especially when working with a full coverage foundation. So start in the center of my face and then just start to blend it out. Now, of course, everyone has different skin needs. So if you are someone who needs more coverage in certain areas, do it. That's the thing. It's going to be different for everybody because everyone's got different skin concerns. So if I do things a little bit differently than you, or for something that doesn't work for you, that's okay, you know? All right, so as you can see, this is also a matte foundation. There's no shine, no nothing to it. It goes on matte. As far as blending it out, I just say put a little bit on and blend because it is a thicker consistency, but you guys know me, I'm not a full coverage queen. Like, I don't mind full coverage for a specific day, but I always tend to dull things down to a medium coverage anyway. Now let's talk about the shade match. As you can see, the shade match, I thought the Urban Decay Stay Naked shade match was bomb. This one's better. And I didn't think that anything was gonna beat that as far as the shade match goes. Now, I didn't have the best of luck with the Stay Naked foundation on my skin. For some reason, it just doesn't hold up that well, but the shade match though, bazam. And I typically just don't take foundation up to the top of my forehead, just simply because my forehead is a totally different color than the center of my face, than the rest of my face and body. It is darker up there. I always just bronze it and everything balances out. So don't worry. Okay, so no foundation on this side. And this is the side with the foundation, no setting or anything yet. I'm gonna go ahead and do the other side. Y'all, so this is what the foundation is looking like on my skin. I haven't set it or done anything to it yet. This is just what it looks like in the raw and the natural in the flesh. Now, although this is a matte foundation, because it is warm outside, I am going to have to set it with powder. I'm going to be setting it with the ABH powder because I've been loving this. I do feel like when it gets cooler, this might be one that I don't have to set. Don't mark my words on it yet, but we'll try it later on. Let me go ahead and finish up the rest of my face and then I'll be right back. Okay, so I am back. This is what the face is looking like. No primer. Y'all know I don't do primers, mattifying primers. So when I went in, my skincare had already been done. For my skincare in the morning, I just rinse my face off and I throw on my moisturizer and some eye cream. That's it. Good to go. So foundation on. After that, I went in with Urban Decay Stay Naked Concealer. My shade is 70NY, and I set up under my eyes with the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish in Dark. Y'all know this is my favorite way to set up under the eyes. And then for the remainder of the face, just a light dusting of the ABH Deep Peach Loose Setting Powder. I'm really enjoying this. I'm enjoying this way more than I expected. And then for blush, this has been the only blush that I've been using for weeks now. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Cheek to Cheek in the shade Sex on Fire. So beautiful. And then of course, I have to throw on a little bit of the Laura Glow. This is the medium deep translucent powder, just as my highlight. Not really highlight because y'all know I'm not a highlighter girl. And then for the eyes, I went in with this VISEART little Petite Palette Pro. This is the Petite Pro for Apricotine. This is what I have on the eyes. And for lips, I was scraping the bottle of my favorite lip gloss. This is the Bite Beauty French Press Gloss in the shade Dirty Chai. So I will grab my vlogging camera so that way you guys can get a better idea of what everything is looking like in the natural light, because you know I like showing you with my studio lights in natural light. And then we gotta get on with the day. This is gonna be a legit long wear test. So I'm working, my first client shoots 12:19. I gotta get moving. My first client is at 1 o'clock. So I'm working from 1 until 7:30, but then right after that, I have a house call. I'm going to color a client's hair in home. So I probably won't be done technically working until about 9:30. The last wrap up will probably be in my car, because I highly doubt that by the time I'm done working, I'm gonna come upstairs, turn on all the lights, and give you my final thoughts that way. So it'll probably be either in my car. We'll have final thoughts. It probably just won't be how we typically do it. All right, so let's go see how this looks in the natural light. Okay, y'all, so here we are in the natural light. Everything looks nice and smooth. The shade match, top notch. So let's head out to the salon and I will check in with you guys later. Oh, I forgot to tell you the time. Hold on. Where's my phone? What time is it? It is currently 12:24. Currently 2:11. This is what we're looking like. Alright guys, so I just finished up the last client. It is currently 7:31 on the nose. I wanted to show you what I look like before I head over to my client for the house call. Okay, so this is what I'm looking like. No blotting, no nothing. I haven't touched my face all day long. Okay, all right, great. All right, so I'm gonna head over to my clients and then we will close this bad boy. So I told y'all this would not be the most flattering lighting situation. As you can see, I am in my robe. It is currently 10:43. This foundation, we started this, it's been on since about what, 11:45. So it's been on since 11:45. So essentially we're gonna say this is a 12-hour wear test. I have not done any blotting all day long. No blotting all day long. So the fact that I have gone all day long, and obviously yes, my oil did push through. I never expect any foundation to halt my oil. In fact, if I ever came across one, it would probably make me a little bit nervous, because if it has just completely stopped the oil from coming through, is it clogging my pores? It's just safe. This is just what my body naturally wants to do. However, it's taken me 30 years to be okay with it, but here we are nonetheless. But I haven't blotted all day long, 12-hour wear. Let's talk about it. Okay, so I have my pros and cons here. I made a little list today when I was at work because I didn't want to forget anything. I know I would get a little brain fog. Prep life, hello. Let's see. All right, so let's talk about the shade match. Shade match on point. This has beat out the Urban Decay Stay Naked shade match. I said previously that's been the best shade match of foundations as far as the foundation launches that we've had this summer. Well, scratch that. That's still a good shade match, but this one is bomb.kizom. Next up, The claims are matte. Yes, it's matte. Full coverage, 100%. 24 hours, I don't know, but we're coming up on 12 hours and this is what my face looks like. Keep in mind, I'm oily all year long. It's hot. I live in the South and I work in a hair salon. A lot of people, hair dryers. If this holds up on me, it's probably going to hold up on you. As far as the complexion, so this is a big thing for me, especially now because there are just so many foundations coming out on a regular basis, and it can get kind of nitpicky with foundations. I mean, we went from not having any to now all of a sudden we have so many options, which I think is a great thing. But now since there are so many options, it's like, yeah, we get a little nitpicky. So here's the deal: whenever I look at foundations, the first thing that I look at obviously is the shade match. Is it a good shade match for my complexion? But also, how does it overall make my skin look? That's a big deal to me. I feel like with the Urban Decay, and I keep referring to that one because that's the most recent newest one that I tried. With the Urban Decay one, the shade match was on point. However, I didn't feel like it did anything for my complexion, and it didn't really hold up that well on me. I know that I am gonna have to blot halfway through today. However, sometimes, like when I'm working in the mirror with my clients, I'm not looking at myself, I'm looking at my clients. Occasionally I'll catch a glimpse of myself, and today whenever I caught a glimpse of myself, I didn't feel like, oh my gosh, I need to go blot my face. The overall complexion, as far as how this makes my skin look, I like it. My skin looks nice, it's smooth, it doesn't emphasize texture, it doesn't make my pores look large because I have very, very large pores. It does not do that whatsoever. Now, I will say this: if you are someone who does like a full coverage, I can get with this full coverage because it doesn't feel mask like, you know what I mean? I feel like some foundations, like the Kat Von D Lock-It Foundation, that can feel mask like. The Urban Decay All Nighter Foundation, that can feel mask like. This is full coverage, but it's not like, oh girl, you got makeup on. It's just like, oh, your skin looks really good. And I can appreciate that because you guys know I'm more of a medium coverage kind of girl. I'll break something and dull something down if it is a full coverage to medium. But even when I have worn this on days like full on, full out, I didn't feel like I had a lot of makeup on. It was lightweight. It worked for me. A little bit goes a long way with this. You don't need a ton of it. Just a little bit goes a long way, and the packaging is lightweight. Now, with a little bit going a long way and the packaging being light, it's going to pull me over to the cons. And the con that I have for this is that there is no pump. So when there's no pump, you can't really regulate how much you're using. So for me, I'm squeezing a little out, and either I'm getting too little or not enough. So let's say the first time I'll squeeze some out and I didn't get enough, and then the second time I squeezed too much, so now I'm just kind of like crap. So I'm not the biggest fan of foundations that are like the squeezy. Because of that, I get it, it is lightweight, understandable, and I guess brands are just kind of break it down on the packaging. However, with this one, because it is so full coverage, I think they should have done better with regulating it. Like, I'm fine with it being in a plastic bottle, but maybe they just should have stuck a pump on it anyway. I don't know. I feel like that makes it difficult. And also, this is a thicker foundation consistency, not on the face consistency. So I can see how someone, maybe you might have a little bit of a trickier time blending it out. It's not hard to blend out, but I would recommend, if you are someone who maybe has a little bit of a harder time blending your foundation out, maybe with this one you might want to try a sponge. I don't think it's waterproof. No, if it's waterproof, don't use a damp sponge. I use my Makeup Forever brush, and for me, because I did kind of dull down the coverage a little bit, that's why I kind of had to work it. But just know it is a thicker consistency, but don't be afraid of that, because once it's on the skin, it looks beautiful. Last but not least, who is this for? Oily girls. If you are dry skin, do not get this. If you have dry skin, if you are someone who maybe has fine lines, any kind of, if you are, I don't want to say if you have any kind of texture, because I'm oily and I have little texture and it didn't emphasize it, but if you are dry and you have texture, this is not something that I would recommend for you. This is legit 100% for the oily skin girls, and I can appreciate that right now, because right now I get it. We are in a luminous and dewy moment, which I'm not mad at, because I feel like last year it was all about the matte. So I love this foundation. This is currently, I'm about to say it, my new favorite foundation. I have been rocking it for a week solid and I absolutely love it. I've been getting a lot of comments on my Instagram stories, people saying, hey, what's on your skin? What are you wearing? It looks so good. This is it. So I'm so glad I purchased this. I actually wasn't even going to purchase it, but when I went into my Sephora, they didn't have it in stock, so I was just going to get a sample of it. I actually bought this foundation with the intention of probably returning it because I just didn't have any hopes for it. I didn't really think that I would enjoy it because it is a full coverage, but let me tell you, I dig this. So that's going to wrap up that is going to wrap up the thoughts for today's wear test. I hope you guys enjoyed it. You know the deal. Keep it simple and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.